Craig. When he first announced he would support an impeachment inquiry, Phillips told CBS's Nancy Cordes that if he gets voted out of office over this, he, quote, doesn't care, because he knows it's the right thing to do. And Congressman Dean Phillips joins us now. Thank you so much for coming on.
Always good to be here, Esme.
All right. That comment you made to Nancy Cordes was a couple of weeks ago. What has happened since then? What are you hearing from your constituents?
Well, what I'm hearing is a distinct shift, most recognizing that the transgressions are so egregious that if we did nothing, that would be a dereliction of our duty. You know, all of us who just took the oath of office took it to the Constitution, not to the President, and not to ourselves. And we have a responsibility, and I'm seeing a very distinct change in contacts with our office. Many more people now supportive of certainly the inquiry, and many more even of impeachment itself.
Okay, and you represent the western suburbs, and your district hasn't had a Democrat since, I think, 1961.
It's been a long time.
You actually told me that you're trying to actually call individually all the people who call and complain about your support for an impeachment inquiry.
Yeah, as many as I can. I mean, that's my job, is representation begins with listening. And my job is to represent everybody. And that means listening to people whose views might be differing than mine. And I learn from those. I learn more from those calls than I do from people who support my existing disposition. And they've been very meaningful to me.
All right. You said that you take issue, before the show, you told me you take issue with allegations that Congress is doing nothing, or the President's allegation that Congress is doing nothing, all they're focusing on is impeachment. Tell me about that.
Well, we're doing a lot, and that's misinformation. The fact is we passed hundreds and hundreds of bills, and the one who's doing nothing is Mitch McConnell. The majority leader in the Senate has chosen not to bring almost any of our bills to the floor of the Senate. And I think that's something that Americans should be aware of. We have passed numerous bills, hundreds of bills, important bills to protect consumers, to protect Americans, reduce prescription drug pricing and the like, and reduce gun violence incidents. And yet the majority leader refuses to even bring them to the floor for a vote. And that's a problem. People should be aware of that.
In terms of impeachment, there really is a partisan divide that we're seeing here. Part of that CBS News poll that's out today says that 63% say that President Trump should cooperate with impeachment. But when you get down to the nitty-gritty of approving and disapproving, 88% of Democrats approve of impeachment inquiry, 12% disapprove. It's the exact opposite for Republicans. Sure. What about that?
Well, it's sad. It's a sad state of affairs in America right now. Politics has become a team sport. I'll tell you, the happiest people in the world right now are the Iranians, the North Koreans, and the Russians. The divisions in this country are ones they have invested in creating, and it's working. And I think we see that now in our polling. And we've got to come together as a country and recognize, first and foremost, our responsibility to the presidency, not to the president, and to the Constitution. So I'm not surprised by those numbers, but I certainly find them troublesome. And we've got to work together and bring people back together. And it saddens me right now about the state of affairs.
You are on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. This week there was an uproar over the president's decision to withdraw troops from northern Syria. Even Republicans outraged by this. What is your opinion of what happened? The Kurds obviously saying that they've been abandoned and that they will be slaughtered.
And that's true. And that's why I share my Republican friends' outrage. It is outrageous. It's egregious. Why the decision was made is beyond me. I cannot believe that the decision was made by any American president, a Democrat or Republican, to betray our allies in the way that we have is sad, shocking, and terrible, terrible consequences that we have to be aware of, and allows ISIS to perhaps become powerful again in a way that we surely don't want to see, and that we've invested billions of dollars and American lives in preventing. That is just poor, poor leadership.
Okay. One of the bills I saw that you had sponsored, we're not sure if it is going to go anywhere, but is one that would make federal home loans more affordable by dropping the insurance premium requirement. That would save a lot of people a lot of money. Does it have a chance?
Well, everything should have a chance. Right now, it's 50-50. I want to see Mr. McConnell take more of our bills and actually give them a chance, at least to be heard on the Senate floor. Anything. This would help people become homeowners, and everybody, Democrats and Republicans alike, believe in that. We want to make it easier for people to succeed. This is a simple bill that would allow us to do so. Another bill I just sponsored is the Firewall Act that would prevent foreign entities from buying political ads in the United States, digital ads. Right now, we do not have a law that precludes that. I hope that gets a hearing in the Senate as well. We've got a lot of good work to do, important work being done. We need somebody in the Senate to allow those bills to be voted on and bring them to the President to